Great to have you with us here. It's going to be another solo edition for me for Miami and Milwaukee. Danny is on a pre-planned vacation right now in Yosemite. Foolish guy to set up a vacation for August 31st, but who would have thought we had NBA basketball then? So he's got a couple days off. He'll be back tomorrow. But the big news here is that Eric Bledsoe, who would have been critical either defending his own Phoenix teammate, his old Phoenix teammate Goran Dragic, or Duncan Robinson, is out today. George Hill gets the start in his place. And for Miami, the same group that it's been for them, a lineup that had played very little, I think only like 50 minutes during the regular season. Dragic, Robinson, Schruter, Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler. So Brook Lopez winning the tip, and we'll get started here with Giannis. It is Jay Crowder with the Giannis assignment initially. Lopez looking to post up Wes Matthews, and now Giannis hands off to Middleton. He'll be a key figure in this series, but he badly bricks that jump shot. They push it ahead. Adebayo switched onto by Lopez. Giannis is guarding Crowder. He'll help off him quite liberally. Backdoor, Robinson trying to get past Middleton. They swing it around. Giannis with that closeout on Crowder. Here's Adebayo. He'll go for the mid-ranger over Lopez. Butler with the tip-in over Wes Matthews. That's where Jimmy Butler, he just outworks guys, outstrengths guys at the rim. The Bucks are well suited to take that away. We'll see if they can do it. There's that Heat switching defense. They want to get it to Middleton. Instead, they swing it to Giannis. Wes Matthews on the drive, lays it up, and Duncan Robinson contested well. Adebayo very comfortable handling in transition. Here's the blow-by Butler, but Lopez with the intimidation at the rim. Now the Bucks are 3-on-3. Here goes Middleton right in on Dragic, missing. Another tip missed. Bucks getting some okay chances. And now what are we going to have here? Looks like some sort of an altercation behind the play, maybe a technical on the missed layup. Well, it's going to be Bucks ball here. See what the play-by-play has to say on that one. Here's Middleton guarded by Butler. Will they try and switch Dragic or Duncan Robinson onto him? Oh, what a pass by Middleton, but Adebayo was there. Now Giannis has to jack it up, and he's fouled. Another key theme, of course, in this series will be Giannis Antetokounmpo at the foul line, where he has often struggled. That was a key factor in their loss to the Raptors a year ago. See Mike Budenholzer for a two-time Coach of the Year and a contender to get it again this year, although Nick Nurse ended up winning it. It's rare that you'll have that situation where I think most people would perceive that Eric Spoelstra has the coaching advantage on Budenholzer, and without Eric Bledsoe, an arrow in the defensive quiver of Budenholzer is missing. Get a chance to look at this Heat half-court offense again here. Robinson is being guarded by Middleton early. They screen, two screens for Robinson, going to his left, three-pointer, off the glass, deep. Robinson, he is that J.J. Redick kind of shooter. I would say maybe even a little more versatility to his jump shot than Redick, but he is more comfortable going to his right. Good help by Robinson to take away Hill's drive. Now it's Giannis. He's got the size advantage, just takes the jumper and hits it over Jay Crowder. 15 more of those, and they'll start guarding him out there. Adebayo, they will love this handoff game. Crowder stepping behind the screen. Giannis was there. Now Crowder off balance. Hits the three, though. And Jay Crowder is going to have all he can eat on those type of shots in this series. If those go down, that's a big advantage for the Heat. And I believe the Heat have scored on every possession now. Here's Lopez shooting it over Adebayo. Yes! Hits it. And Brook Lopez is shooting, of course. Another very important variable, as he famously shot only 29% from three this year. Here's Dragic into the lane. Good floater over Lopez. Lopez is a tough guy to shoot a floater over because of that huge standing reach, but Dragic undeterred. Now Giannis feeling it. Oh, baby! Giannis Antetokounmpo tying it at 10. Offensive fireworks. I thought this would be a defensive series. Not the case so far. Dragic now getting to that left hand in the post. Tries to go through Hill, and George Hill, he can be a little handsy on defense, and we'll see whether this is a shooting foul. I believe it will be. Dragic to the foul line, originally a second-round pick of the Suns. He broke out like crazy in Game 3 of the 2010 second round as they beat the Spurs. He had 25 points in the second half as a reserve point guard in that game, and he hits a couple of free throws. Hill with the nice drive. That's beautiful work there because the two help guys, Robinson and Butler, they're all getting ready to deal with screening action under the hoop with Middleton. And so Hill said, if you're not going to help, I'm going to just blow by my man. Here's Butler into the lane. The drive, oh, that's just such a terrible foul for Antetokounmpo on a Jay Crowder drive. And we've seen Giannis, his minutes have been limited both by his own coach and by foul trouble. And Giannis is one of those guys. He'll always pick him up. He's got to be aggressive in transition. He's not a guy who can play with fouls very well. Here's the alley-oop, but Lopez tracks back to intercept. He's made a couple plays at the rim. Now Middleton trying to go at Butler one-on-one. Long two. Chris Middleton can't get it. Oh, and Adebayo and Butler not on the same page. Butler tried to post up, spin back door, and Adebayo's pass was late. And what's more, Butler wasn't really open to begin with. Giannis setting the screen. He's been great as a roll man in these playoffs. Good denial by Crowder on Giannis that time. Brook Lopez back to goal. Tries to go through the arm of Adebayo, and he banks it in. Brook Lopez, extremely underrated with his touch in the short mid-range area. Of course, the matchups. Will Adebayo be tasked to guard Giannis? That is going to be a key question at some point. And then what do they do with Lopez? Here's Adebayo, just totally clubbed by Lopez on this one as they tried to late switch on the pick and roll, and Butler found him. Yeah, Brook Lopez remains an outstanding post-up player. Not a very good passer, however. He can get a little hyper-focused on the rim when you get it to him in the post, but he can mash down there. Adebayo hits the first free throw. Fourteenth pick for Adebayo out of 2017, as we're going to get a timeout and a chance to tell you about our friends at bookies.com, which gives you great information for your gambling and also great deals to click through to betting if it is legal in your state. They've got great expert picks with Adam Thompson and Mark Stropman. You can follow them on Twitter at Bookies. They've got live updating odds. Bookies.com/NBA is the place to find all of that. Let's see if we got some questions piling up. Could trading Dennis Schruter to Miami make sense? 1 year left doesn't affect the 2021 cap space. If Dragic doesn't want to sign a 1 year deal. Yes, Danny is had a pre-planned vacation before we knew that this would be during the heart of the NBA playoffs, but he'll be back tomorrow. So back to the Schruter question. I don't think his small size fits into what they want to do. They're almost playing Tyler Hero as their backup point guard at this point, and so I don't think they would want to infringe on his development. With Schruter, the question also is, who is the matching salary? I guess you're saying that they're taking him just into their cap space. Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm not sure if Schruter is a Miami Heat type of player necessarily either. Should the Pacers be looking to mix up their roster this offseason? No, I don't think so. Maybe there'll be an Oladipo trade if they feel like there are some irreconcilable differences there. But they just put this team together this year. They weren't healthy. And I think they want to see what the coach can do if they're going to bring someone else in with a more modern offensive philosophy. Let's see here. 7 out of 17 experts on ESPN picked the Heat. There seems to be a distinction between the eye test report and analytics type. Why do you think this is the case? Recency bias? Yeah, I think a lot of it is recency bias. I had the Bucks in 5. Danny had him in 6. Certainly there is. I don't feel tremendously confident in that pick, but I'm just not convinced that this Miami team are absolute world beaters. I mean, Jimmy, if you just look at the best player on each team, Jimmy Butler and Giannis, and that's no comparison. And then I'd say that the rest of the rosters are pretty even to me. Some of the thought is that Miami shoots it so well from 3, they're not as reliant on getting to the rim, and that's what the Bucks defense wants to give up. How are playoff games starting 25 minutes later than they're supposed to? Yeah, I think when there isn't a scheduled pregame show on like your DVR or whatever, or on your guide, that's when you know they're going to start a little bit later because they have to do the whole pregame show first. Pat Connaughton has come on now for the Bucks. He's going to be an important player in this series for Milwaukee. Adebayo hitting the second free throw as Budenholzer tried the old Steve Kerr timeout in between the 2 free throws. That didn't work. They try to run George Hill off some screens. Now they get Giannis attacking Duncan Robinson. They double team. Giannis missed Wes Matthews on the drive. Here's Connaughton going right to the rim. One thing that Miami is not great at is rim protecting once you get the initial penetration. And Adebayo is much better as an on-ball guy. He's not a great help rim protector. He's solid, but not amazing. And particularly if he gets switched onto a shooter. Here's Butler right down the lane. Oh, he's just rejected by Giannis. Here's Middleton. He'll pull up over Adebayo. Big exchange there. The Bucks by 5. What a block that was. Jimmy Butler, his finishing at the rim has been down. They're trying to force him left. And Butler, that's just not good enough defense right there from Wes Matthews. I don't see why you need to go to this crazy forcing Jimmy Butler left. Like, how is he just blowing by you in an ISO? I mean, as we're seeing that great block again, but like, you cannot give Jimmy Butler any kind of an avenue and try to get back in front because he's just going to slam into your body when you do that and draw the foul. So I think you should just, in an ISO situation, play him straight up. You can back off a little bit because he's not going to shoot that jump shot. But Butler getting to the foul line already, like that's the only way he can really score efficiently against this Bucks team. So Giannis getting his usual rest, 7 points in 5 minutes, and that big block for him. Other things to watch here will just be the overall rotations from Budenholzer. He's tried to get away with no Middleton and no Giannis at times. Here's Lopez in the pick and roll against Middleton. Oh, it's taken away from behind, but they're going to get Olynyk with the foul. I'm sorry, maybe it was Schruter. We couldn't see from that terrible angle, of course. TNT has been going a little crazy with some of these angles. Marvin Williams replacing Wes Matthews. Williams, a buyout market signing for the Bucks. Perhaps underrated, gives them a lot more versatility defensively. Here's Middleton. Oh, they just gave him the space. That's not good enough from Schruter. You can't just let him turn and face and shoot over you. He's going to hit that every time. You got to force him to put it on the floor. Dragic forced to his right. Switched onto by Middleton. Lobs for Butler. Butler underneath, and he's got the size advantage on Hill. And now with Marvin Williams replacing Giannis at center, Lopez is guarding Olynyk away from the hoop. Butler can operate under there. Here's Williams. Wow, tough pick and pop jumper for two on the move. Pass came just a little bit early. Dragic navigating some screens. Now the late switch back. Dragic against Lopez. Guns it over. Man, Goran Dragic is playing at an extremely high level in these playoffs. 23 points, 5 assists in the first round. Middleton pick and roll. Getting around Olynyk. Sets up Hill. Good close from Robinson. Forces him to relocate. Lopez keeps it alive, though. Fresh shot clock. Connaughton sets the screen. He rolled. George Hill missed him. And then Butler getting around Lopez. Nice save. And they're going to get a blocking foul. Count it for Brook Lopez. Olynyk with the flop was not in front. Yeah, Lopez does ward off a little bit, but by keeping that forearm close to his body, he avoids the call. It's a natural instinct to extend that forearm away from your body. It used to be up until this year that you only got called for it if you actually fully extended your arm. Now, though, they'll call it even if you just shove off with your arm. But if you keep it close to your body, you won't get that call. And Eric Spoelstra will take a timeout as his Miami Heat have given up 26 points in about 7 minutes here. Yeah, offensive fireworks once more here in the bubble. 173 offensive rating for Milwaukee, 150 for Miami. Bucks 10 of 16 from the field. Miami 6 of 9, 6 of 6 from the foul line. Why isn't it a point of education to get the Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry BS fouls out of the game? Well, part of the problem with that is the NBA has gone to a very objective standard on what constitutes a foul. And those guys have hacked the system of knowing when a foul will be called. So the only way you could get that out would be to give some more discretion to the referees and have them say, hey, you know what? Like, if you're going to try this call-seeking behavior and take a bullshit shot or let yourself get knocked down, we're just not going to give it to you. And Mark Davis kind of does that a little bit, but you can only really go so far because you're being graded on these calls, and the NBA wants these calls to be correct objectively. So I do think there could be some more subjectivity put back into officiating on those plays. But as they are doing it right now, there isn't really a way to do that because, yes, technically those are fouls. Yeah, the Tice moving screen under the basket is another one of those. Yeah, I absolutely think they should look at that one. Is Budenholzer doing anything new for Miami? I haven't seen much yet. If Giannis becomes available, would Bam be the best trade chip available for him? I mean, I think with Miami, Dallas, like, they're going to just be trying to sign him in free agency. Like, the whole idea is to pair him with the guys they already have. If you're Giannis and they have to trade Adebayo for you, do you really want to go to Miami at that point? It really makes more sense to trade just future guys, I would say. Can the Bucks win the series if Bledsoe doesn't show up again offensively? Oh, absolutely. Now he's got to actually get in the game. Bledsoe being out is a plus for the Bucks. No, I wouldn't say that. Defensively, his number one, yeah, when George Hill replacing him in the starting lineup, I see you could argue that. But now, if they're going to throw in, I mean, who's going to be the backup point guard? They only have one point guard really on this roster. Middleton, you might allow to handle the ball. George Hill and Giannis are really the only guys that are playoff rotation guys. So it's really going to be about who's replacing George Hill. That's going to be the problem. And then Bledsoe also gives you a lot as far as someone to chase around Duncan Robinson or Dragic. They don't really have another guy like that. All right, we're back here. Is that Frank Mason? Are you kidding me? Wow. Here's Butler going right at Chris Middleton again. And you're seeing the effect of Kelly Olynyk now. Well, particularly when you've got Marvin Williams at center. What is this lineup? This is a really weird lineup. Now Marvin Williams tries to get to the bucket. Here's the push. Hero just came on. Leaves it for Crowder. His three is off. Rebounded by Connaughton. Yeah, there's nothing like seeing Frank Mason out there on the floor to make you feel good about your Bucks in 5 pick. Middleton, he's been on fire though, and that does make you feel good about that Bucks in 5 pick. Yeah, Jimmy Butler has really had the way of it here so far. I thought he would struggle in this series. Here's Hero just breaking Mason's ankles, but the long two misses. Yeah, one criticism of Budenholzer, in addition to just kind of not having the playoff urgency, is that his lineups sometimes just don't have a theory. As Middleton, again, man, he has just been killing it out here. And Jimmy Butler has scored some on him too. Now we're going to see Butler. He wants to go back at him after that last bucket. Hero off the Butler screen, off the Olynyk screen. They'll switch that. Now they've got Mason on Butler, but they're not looking that way. Instead, Hero wants to attack Williams into the lane, leaving it for Olynyk. And Olynyk has his legs cut on for him, and he's going to go to the foul line. Kelly Olynyk famously was picked as both Dallas and the Celtics passed on Antetokounmpo, and then the Wolves passed on him as well. So this is interesting. Iguodala, and we're going to see Kendrick Nunn really for the first competitive moment of these playoffs. So both coaches really going deeply into their bench, but I like Kendrick Nunn a little bit more than I like Frank Mason. And Frank Mason quickly replaced here. I really just don't get the reasoning there. Just like, we need 2 minutes of Frank Mason out here. I mean, it didn't kill him because Middleton hit some shots. Now Middleton again, and they're going to get a hold on Iguodala early on, holding Marvin Williams as he tried to slip the screen. Marvin Williams loves to slip screens and get out to either the three-point line or slip it early and cut to the rim. Iguodala held him as he tried to do it that time. There is a place for Nunn as a scorer in this series in the mid-range against the Bucks, but the question becomes, what else does he do? Here's Middleton again, and no, they're going to get a foul call. Unclear exactly what that is. Is that a second on Giannis trying to post up? I'm sorry, these camera angles are just atrocious. Yeah, offensive foul. 2 fouls now on Giannis. 2 bad fouls on Giannis already. Iguodala, they're trying to involve Korver here and have him guard Butler. Instead, Iguodala rolling to the rim. Hero sets up Nunn for his first shot that misses. And the Bucks, no, we're going to stay here. They couldn't control the rebound. Adebayo kept it alive. Yeah, that's a tough box out there for Korver. He did the best he could on Adebayo. So they try to involve Korver immediately. Eric Spoelstra did that back when he was coaching the Heat in 2011 as Hero comes off the screen and just drains it. Yeah, Marvin Williams completely miscommunicated with Connaughton, and that's how that 3 developed in that split cut action with Adebayo handling. Here's Korver. He'll take a shot, missing that a little bit. Korver not quite as good shooting it on the move as he used to be earlier in his career. Now, here's Butler going right through Connaughton. No foul was called. Now Antetokounmpo accelerates into the front court. Goes right at Bam. Goes through Bam for the dunk. The strength of Giannis. Now it's Butler at the elbow. The drive from Hero. Connaughton stays with him nicely. Now Hero will try again. He's rejected by Williams. Too aggressive from Hero. He complains to the referee. Now it's Giannis setting up Korver wide open. Yes. Those block shots at the rim for the Bucks, the best rim protecting team maybe in NBA history, and that fuels their transition game. Eric Spoelstra had to tell Kendrick Nunn where to go, get to the elbow and screen for Adebayo. That's not going to earn Nunn nor playing time. Here's Iguodala, slips down, guarded by Korver. Iguodala takes the three as they go under, and he bricks it. Giannis again in transition. He's had 2 nice plays in a row there. Working against Nunn. Backdoor. DiVincenzo stopped from behind by Iguodala. They're going to get a foul on Iguodala, and he can't believe it. That's going to be his second. Yeah, I can't really tell from that first angle. Yeah, here's this ridiculous dunk by Giannis. I mean, the amount of ground that he covers with each stride. In another lifetime, Giannis would have been maybe the best triple jumper we've ever seen. They're sitting Giannis down again now, and Mike Budenholzer does not like to go for the kill. He's on 2 fouls. They're up 10. So he's going to take this opportunity to take him out, get him a rest, and not get further fouls. DiVincenzo missing that free throw. Dragic is back for the Heat. And yeah, they took Kendrick Nunn out, it looks like. Oh, no, he's still in. Sorry, I missed him at the bottom of the screen there. Here's Dragic getting past Connaughton, missing that. Marvin Williams with the rebound, but then it gets taken away. Adebayo trying Lopez in the post. No dice. Here's Hero. He'll go to the 3 off the dribble. That's the shot that's going to be there for the Miami Heat. Connaughton, Korver. Fun little 2-man game there between those guys. Doesn't end up going anywhere. Connaughton off the pick and roll, and he just airmails it. Yeah, this lineup right here from Budenholzer. Giannis would normally be in. He doesn't come back with Middleton, and you're asking Pat Connaughton to create in pick and roll with Kyle Korver? Dragic off the screen. Engages Lopez. Swings it out. Iguodala, 3-pointer, wide open. Misses. Korver, nice fight on the defensive glass. 2 for 1 for the Bucks, but with Pat Connaughton as the point guard, you're probably not going to get too far. So no George Hill, no Giannis, no Middleton. Remember how we said those are the 3 guys who can dribble on this team? Here's DiVincenzo. Nice closeout from Iguodala. Lopez stepping back way off balance. Williams on the offensive glass. DiVincenzo on the offensive glass, but now they're way behind the play and none can push it. Dragic attacks Connaughton, lays it in. Goran Dragic, even in his mid-30s, remains an outstanding finisher. Last shot of the quarter for the Bucks. DiVincenzo looking to pull up. Lopez, fake DHO, nothing doing, has to fade away for 3, and he drains it. A 40-point first for Milwaukee. Man, this team can look so good when they're hitting their 3-pointers, and it's a 5 of 8 3-point shooting quarter. Miami, no slouches themselves at 4 of 9, but now you look at the 2-point percentages. 42% 2-point shooting for Miami. The Bucks, 60% 2-point shooting, and that's how they put up a 142 offensive rating. I'm sorry, a 148 offensive rating. I was looking at the ESPN box score, which is wrong. Let's see here. Looking for some questions. I think this goes 6 or 7. Heat looking weirdly like last year's Raptors. Jimmy Butler is a poor man's Kawhi. Yeah, I just don't think Butler is anywhere close to that level. I think that's the biggest thing for me. And then you also have guys on this Heat team who can be attacked defensively. They're shooters. They don't have really any guys who are good shooters and good defenders, at least at like a high playoff level. And so I think that could be a little bit of an issue as well. But, if Jimmy Butler is going to guard Giannis successfully in this series, then I might change my tune. But I don't think he can do to Giannis what Kawhi did. I mean, really, the only guy that we've seen stop Giannis in the playoffs has been Kawhi. That's it. Like, Giannis was good against Toronto in the first two games last year before they switched Kawhi onto him. He completely killed the Celtics. Even the year before, they lost to the Celtics, but he was still unstoppable in that series. He averaged like 30 a game. And, he's hit the jumper in this one. He's gotten a couple of transition buckets. We haven't seen him do anything driving the ball in the half court, but he hasn't needed to yet. The most you would offer Fred VanVleet if I were the Knicks? $0. I just don't really see. Well, let's see who they draft first, right? I mean, if they draft a point guard, I would be less likely to want him, although he can play off the ball as well. I wouldn't say $0, but you would want it to be a contract that you feel like would be of value and that you could easily trade. And I don't believe that he would come for that. Presumably the Raptors will offer him such a contract as well. It just doesn't make sense to get a 26-year-old point guard where they are as a franchise right now. Like, they're not even close to competing. You just have to continue to develop whoever you draft this year, and Barrett, although Barrett may be a lost cause, and Mitchell Robinson, and you just can't skip steps. Like, they keep trying to skip steps, and that's how you end up rebuilding for 5 straight years. All right, we're back here for the second quarter. Now, the Bucks did put up 40 points. That's great. I still think that some of these lineups, though, are going to come back to haunt them. And it's almost one of those things where, like, the bad shooter gets going early in the game, and you're like, oh, good, because now he's going to shoot him out of it later. I fear that because these moves by Bud, quote-unquote, worked, that he's going to keep going to them and feel emboldened. And maybe it won't matter in this series, but at some point it could come back to bite him. Here's the backdoor Iguodala. Oh, Wes Matthews diagnosed that perfectly. Great defense from Wes Matthews, coming way off of Hero on the other side of the floor. That's the kind of defense that you need. But then the Bucks throw it away on the other end. Just a terrible pass from Wes Matthews. Olynyk was trying to just draw a charge on Brook Lopez, just running across the lane. Here's Dragic, engages Lopez, gets the late switch, but gives it up. Why don't they give it back to Dragic here? Dragic didn't fight hard enough to get it. Now he's got it against Lopez, trying to force him to his right, stepping back over Lopez, way short. No, they're going to get a foul on Brook Lopez. Second foul on Lopez. That one looked like it could be more of high five contact. Let's see if we can get a replay of it. But 3 throws here for Goran Dragic. And once again, I would continue to lobby for the change of this rule to just be 2 free throws until the last 2 minutes of the game. Dragic hits the first. Let's see if we get a look at this. The argument there, of course, forgive me if longtime viewers have heard this before, is that basically a 3-shot foul is worth 2.5 points. And that's more than a dunk. It really should be. There's no reason why a 3-pointer should be worth more in terms of a foul than, a foul on a layup around the rim or something like that. But you do need it at the end of games to where if a guy gets fouled on a 3-pointer, then he gets 3 free throws because teams are trying to come back and you could just grab the guy with impunity. But other than the last 2 minutes of the game, I don't think you need to. Like, the 2-shot foul is enough of a deterrence. Here's Korver off the screen. He beat Hero, but coming to his left, not quite as good. Yeah, and so now he's got Middleton, Hill, and Giannis all back in the game again. Dragic, Hill stays with him nicely. Now the post up from Adebayo, trying to draw a third on Giannis. Adebayo over Giannis, but he can't get it. Man, that was an easy look. He got caught between the dunk. Now Giannis trying to attack. They load to him with none. Giannis back to goal. Oh, the fake spin into the lane. Hill, again, why is he standing there? Why is George Hill standing there? If he just stays at the 3-point line, he's wide open. Their guards do this all the time. They just run in on these cuts. It's like there's nowhere to go. Just stand at the 3-point line. You're 70% true shooting this year. Dragic, again, man, he has just had the touch going to his left hand. I think that maybe the Bucks need to start thinking about a way to keep him off of that left hand and pick and roll. With Lopez out of the game, their pick and roll defense is a lot more limited. It's Giannis at center here now. Hand off to Middleton. He's open over Iguodala. Man, Chris Middleton cannot miss right now. That is a great sign for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think Middleton, we haven't seen them go to the ISO game yet with him, but him getting some confidence here is great. Now Nunn looking to attack off the dribble. Tough shot by Nunn. That's awful. Adebayo has tried to keep it alive a couple of times. Here's Giannis pushing it. Adebayo isn't back, and good foul there. Drawn by Giannis, I should say. Not a good foul by Dragic necessarily, but once Adebayo has gone down, there's no one who can stay in front of Giannis. Like, you got to have your center back at the rim and then also load your guards to him. He's just so difficult to deal with. Another free throw adventure coming here for Antetokounmpo. Well, I guess so much for him shooting well. I mean, like, he'll hit a couple. He hit a three, hit a jumper here. You're like, but it's just not consistent for him. And I think it's mostly mental. Clearly it is. Like, you don't miss free throws like that unless you have some sort of a mental block. And he's going to need really a full season of shooting the ball extremely well as he misses the second free throw. So that's going to be something to monitor. Hero trying to get the screen from Robinson, who hasn't done much yet. Nunn off the ball, runs into Middleton. That probably should have been an illegal screen. Now it's Robinson. Middleton gets through it. No, they're going to say illegal screen on Adebayo on the handoff. Middleton doing a decent job. Again, if you're the Bucks, forcing Robinson to his left. Yeah, you see the hip check there by Adebayo. If he just turns his butt out and pretends like he's about to run to the rim, you don't get that call. But by sticking the hip out, you get it. Here's Hill, open three. Tried to take advantage of Nunn sloughing off of him, but couldn't make the shot. Adebayo going to try Giannis. Oh, he knocks Giannis over and blew the dunk. Now Hill, he missed Korver open. Hill, not a great passer. They want to get Middleton the ball against Duncan Robinson. Step back. No, he got him in the air, and they had to give it up, though. And Korver just volleyball spikes it out of bounds. Yeah, good job by Adebayo not fouling on that play. That's twice, actually. Giannis did the same thing to him. He came right back at Giannis, but couldn't get the dunk. Middleton guarding Duncan Robinson. They try to have Robinson set the back screen. Then the pass to Iguodala is off. Robinson on the drive down the lane. They overreact to that, but a good closeout. And Giannis can't get the block on Nunn. Bucks rim protection, not the same here with Giannis is really the only guy. No Marvin Williams, no Brook Lopez. We're seeing Robin Lopez yet to play. Now Korver loses it. He's been playing a lot. Here, and Iguodala has got an easy dunk here to bring Miami within 5, and Mike Budenholzer is going to get another timeout. I mean, the theory of these lineups for Budenholzer, like, he just feels like he can throw in anybody in any combination, and it's just going to work in these portions of the game. And I don't understand why he would think, okay, yeah, we'll just go with Giannis at center now. Like, why not keep Williams out there? He was playing fine. And now the Heat are getting a bunch at the rim. Let's see, catch up on some questions here. Actually, first we'll tell you about bookies.com. Bookies.com is the best way to get betting information. We do a lot of prognosticating here, but we're not really betting focused, other than our over-unders, of course. But hopefully you can find our information useful. I know we have a lot of people who listen to our content who are betting focused, and bookies.com is a great place not only to get additional betting information with expert picks from Adam Thompson and Mark Stratman, but furthermore, to click through to live betting odds and the best betting deals in your state, if betting is in fact legal there. So follow them on Twitter at bookies or bookies.com/NBA. Giannis says Shaq's free throw woes. Are the changes in the Shaq scheme a benefit or not for the opposing team? Giannis isn't quite that bad. I mean, what is he, like a 65% shooter or so? So that's enough where if you're following him, you're giving up a 130 offensive rating every time. And then you're also going against a set defense every time on the other end. So it probably is not something that makes sense. Maybe if you're really trying to come back, it would make sense. Do you agree Iguodala's reputation as a good defensive player helps him get away with fouls on swipes on the ball? Maybe a little bit. I think a lot of players have talked about just that referees kind of become familiar with someone's game. So I think with Iguodala that can be the case, but he also is one of the best ever at that. I mean, he's an absolute master. Most of the time he's clean there. But so when you're clean most of the times, when you're not, you may get the benefit of the doubt a little bit more. What are you using for the stats on the stream? That is rthoops.net. My friend Min Huang put that together. You can just go there yourself if you want. You just got to create an account and you can look at all of it for all the games. It's pretty cool. Live updates, actual possession counts instead of estimate. I actually helped him design it a little bit. So I'm not that good with the programming, but I tried to like kind of just help him parse out some of the anomalies in the play-by-play and stuff. So it's pretty good. Who actually enjoys these coaching segments? Yeah, I don't know. It's every once in a while you get something decent, but they edit them out way too much. All right, here's Giannis at the elbow. They want to set up Middleton for the handoff. Good help by Adebayo, and then retreating back. They had the open side pick and roll, but they couldn't get it to Giannis. Now he'll try and attack off the dribble. Gets it to the corner. Wes Matthews, quick release. And that's twice Giannis has taken advantage of the guy in that strong side corner just trying to help off him a little bit, and he's hit him really quickly with that pass. They've gotten 2 open corner threes out of it. Here's Hero on the drive, lobs it up beautifully for Adebayo, and the Bucks are not the same rim protecting team without Lopez. Now Giannis attacking, and Iguodala with I think that's going to be a 3rd foul on him, which he can't believe. Yeah, I think with this group out here, and Butler is going to come back in now for Miami, Bucks need to actually double down on protecting the rim a little bit. They're just giving up a lot of layups, a lot of pick and roll ball handler, good shots. Giannis on the screen, but Bam got a hand on it. Now it's Nunn looking. Oh, he missed Bam. Now he gets it to him, and he gets the easy layup. Back to a 4-point game. Bucks half-court offense not looking so good right now. It is Bam guarding Giannis in this alignment with Giannis at center. That's another reason to play Brook Lopez is you get Bam off of Giannis. Now they get a foul as George Hill was trying to get up and set the screen, and Nunn held him. The Heat bemused by the officiating so far. Middleton stepping back, gets his man in the air, did not get the call. Loved the no call there. Middleton really changed up his shooting motion to try to go to the side and draw contact, and it was a great no call. Miami has had the run of play of late, and now they've got their star Butler back in. Nunn screens for Hero. Adebayo rolling to the rim. Giannis gets back there. Hero had him for a second, but the pass is a little bit too late. Still time here for Butler against Matthews. Butler blows by him to his left. Help comes. Here's the shot from Hero. He hasn't had the range from three yet. Now Middleton, they give it back to Middleton. He's got the size advantage on Hero. They're not doing that. Now Giannis attacking. Tried to Euro step. Butler steps up off of Matthews in the far corner. Now here comes Butler at Middleton, and good blocking foul called on Middleton. Heat defense. We are starting to hear from them for the first time. And it's really going awry here without Brook Lopez on the floor. Clear blocking foul on Middleton. You either got to stand there with your arms up, or you got to fall down. That's a recipe for just getting called for the foul every time as Chris Middleton. Butler missing the free throw, but he's been able to make some hay at the line. For Miami, Goran Dragic leading them in scoring, 14 points, 4 of 5 from the field, 5 of 5 from the line. He's been outstanding so far. Butler hits the second free throw, and Milwaukee continuing to struggle here in half-court offense. Middleton off the screen. Butler is on him. Giannis trying to roll to the rim. There's the pass, and Duncan Robinson was too late that time. He's got to be there to intercept that pass. He did not get there in time. You got to force them to make that pass all the way to the opposite corner. So more free throws coming for Giannis. Let's see how he looks this time. Giannis' shooting struggles have always been such a surprise to me, as he's not even close on that one again. Because when I first saw him, it was in this dingy gym in Jesolo, Italy. It was really the first time anybody had seen him in any sort of high-level competition. He was playing an exhibition game for the Greek under-20 national team in a tournament that I think included like Italy and Croatia. And other than that, anyone had only ever seen him play in the Greek second division. And his form was totally different. He's way short again. But Middleton somehow gets the rebound. Lopez is back in too, but they're going to give this to Miami. And he kind of shot more of a shot, but even if you go back and look at his film from his rookie year, it was more of a set shot, but he was actually very comfortable shooting three-pointers. I thought he was going to be a totally decent three-point shooter. And for some reason, they changed his form around, and now he brings the ball up like way in front of his body. It's just so mechanical. He actually had more of just like a smooth shot back in the day. Butler tried to go backdoor. Matthews was on him. Now it's Dragic. They forced him to his right hand that time. Lopez goes after it, but man, that floater from Dragic, that's not a shot you usually see in his bag for the lefty, going to his right off the glass. And Miami now within one. Milwaukee has not scored in some time. 16-6 run for the Heat this quarter. Matthews off the screen. Robinson is there. They want to get Giannis at the foul line against Schruter. Help coming here from Robinson and Butler. Back to goal for Giannis. Out to Lopez. Lopez 3. Yeah, man, they needed that one. Nice job by Brook Lopez relocating just enough to get open for that three-pointer, and Lopez has hit a couple of difficult ones. Watch Duncan Robinson here. They're trying to get it to him. No, they're going to get a timeout, actually, as they didn't know what they were running, and Eric Spoelstra figures as good a time as any for a timeout. Jason Kidd and staff ruined Giannis' jumper around year 2 to 3. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the genesis of that was. I mean, I definitely noted that he had changed it, and it seemed like a good thing at first, but clearly it's something that got into his head. I mean, I think they also, I don't know if he was in so much ruining his jumper as it was just saying to him that you shouldn't shoot 3 pointers anymore. And I think that was a big part of it also. Noah Olynyk this series, yeah, he played earlier, and I think he is going to be an important guy for them. I don't think he played particularly well, but that above the break three is certainly going to be there against the Bucks defense, particularly with Lopez in the game. I would say Brook Lopez. What does it take to be a good screener? Who is on my all screener team? I would say, I mean, there's a number of things that you need. I mean, you got to know some of the dirty tricks, obviously. Just being wider in general definitely helps. I would also say that mobility is an underrated aspect of screening because you need to be able to switch the angle of the screen. You need to be able to sprint out there quickly so that your guy is behind you and then the ball handler has an advantage attacking your guy. So Rudy Gobert is right up there for me. Draymond Green is just an awesome screener. He particularly off the ball as well. He knows all the tricks and he just has a good understanding for when to set them also. So that's a huge part of it. Um, Andrew Bogut used to be up there. Those teams that run a lot of off-ball screens usually. Adebayo is up there too at this point. Part of it even is just because it's more about sometimes the handoff game now, where you've got a dribble handoff and you're faking the handoff and being able to drive, like having a little more versatility. Just the like big, old school power forward block of a guy who's unskilled. Like you need to actually have some skill to be a good screener so that the defense respects you and they're not going to just go double team the guy coming off the ball. So there's a lot of elements to it, but I think mobility, size, those are some of the biggest things. Technique, obviously. Tristan Thompson is always a good screener. For small players, I think just being a good shooter is the number one thing because if teams don't want to leave you, then your screens are really effective because your guy can't help on the screen and it'll get the guy open. Drinking some tea out of the Dunked On mug right now. I love it. Yeah, I got to get some more merch going. Been kind of focused on this new subscription site, but once I get settled down, I think we'll get back to that. Butler trying to post up on Matthews. Matthews did well to prevent him getting it underneath. Now Butler's gonna have to take a jumper here late in the clock. Steps back. Oh, Matthews just stripped him. Beautiful defense. That's a great defensive possession from Wes Matthews. Giannis is out again. Brook Lopez back in. Connaughton replacing Giannis at the 4. Here's Middleton trying to cross up. Oh, he broke the ankles. Oh, man, of Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder almost fell on his butt off that move from Middleton between the legs. Chris Middleton, what a half he's having. Olynyk is back in now. They want to run the DHO. Robinson is open. Good help from Middleton. And you'll give up a Crowder 3. I know he made that, but you'll give up a Crowder 3 to take away a look from Duncan Robinson. But Crowder now 2 of 3 from downtown. He's had the touch in the bubble. Middleton out of this horn set. Lopez slips the screen. Now Connaughton is wide open. Good offense there from Milwaukee, but Connaughton can't cash it out. Matthews forcing Butler left. Butler into the lane. Goes up over Matthews. Can't finish. That's been a struggle for Butler when he doesn't get fouled to finish. Now it's Middleton going right at Butler, but Butler pulled the chair on him. And what are we going to get here? Are they going to say that Butler tripped Middleton? No. Sorry, this is a little confusing on that one. Here's Dragic again now. 53-48 Milwaukee. crossover down the lane, leaves it for Butler. Man, that is too easy. Goran Dragic is killing the Bucks right now. And there wasn't even a screen that time. Brook Lopez tried to help Butler with the nice cut. Here's Hill. He gets his pass intercepted by Olynyk. Olynyk running the floor. Back to Schruter. Good defense in transition from the Bucks. And they force a turnover. No, what do we got here? Backcourt? Yeah, backcourt. I thought Dragic might have saved it in time. Tough pass from Schruter. But yeah, Dragic steps in the backcourt line before he saved it. Yeah, we just haven't seen many minutes due to the foul trouble with Giannis and Brook Lopez out there together. Connaughton screening away for Lopez. They want to post him up against Adebayo. Swing it all the way around to Wes Matthews. He draws the foul on Robinson, but no shot. That's a nice pass from Middleton. Duncan Robinson came over to prevent the post up by Lopez, and Chris Middleton is really a good passer. Throws it all the way cross court. Chris Middleton easily the best passer on the Bucks. Are they going to say this is a shooting foul? Yeah, they're not listed as being in the bonus. That's weird. He took a dribble to his left before he shot it. I don't see how that's a shooting foul. Wes Matthews doesn't get to the line much. Of course, he suffered that torn Achilles in March of 2015 and nonetheless received what was at the time a max contract from the Dallas Mavericks. So yeah, I guess they must be in the bonus and there just isn't an indicator on the score. Forcing Butler to his left again. Matthews is there. Now Adebayo will take the mid-ranger, and that's a shot Milwaukee will live with all day and all night. Middleton guns it. Misses that three, but a good look for him. Now Dragic gets the three. I mean, what is this graphic? TNT's doing a really bad job today. Here's another three from Dragic again, and he's not missing that one. That graphic did note 22 points in the paint for the Heat, which is way more than Milwaukee usually gives up. Milwaukee has had trouble getting to the rim themselves. Here's Connaughton. He's wide open, but didn't really have his feet set. And those are kind of the bad threes that I think Milwaukee needs to get rid of. Like Connaughton, was he a 34% three-point shooter, off balance, 2 steps behind the line? Now here's Butler trying to go through Middleton, and he travels. Great defense from Chris Middleton. Butler has tried to go through Middleton and through Wes Matthews on these post-ups, but has not been able to beat them. Wes Matthews getting a break. This is another one of those weird subs to me. Wes Matthews is playing well, so we're going to take him out of the game because he's played 15 minutes in the first half. And he has 1 foul. Trying to run a cross screen for Giannis here. They get it into him against Schruter. Help coming from the baseline with here. Giannis tries to go through Schruter. Oh, 3rd foul on Giannis. He got him with the elbow. Yep, got the elbow up right into the neck of Jay Schruter. 3 fouls on Giannis, and once again, 15 minutes, only 9 points. I honestly think that Miami has outplayed Milwaukee here in this first half. When you consider how much they're getting to the rim, Milwaukee shooting 9 of 17 from 3, that's going to calm down. Here's Nunn off the flare screen. Kendrick Nunn can't get that 3 to go. And Milwaukee will trudge through this final 125 without their superstar. Good denial on DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo tries to roll to the basket. That leaves Nunn on Middleton. Middleton with the left hand step through. Beautiful move. And that's where I think Chris Middleton, as this series goes on, can really make some hay against the likes of Nunn, Hero, and Dragic. Hero, Adebayo misses his 2nd dunk of the quarter. And what are we going to get here? I think they're going to get Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler shoved Marvin Williams in the back at one point. but I think the foul is going to go in favor of Butler. Butler making the first free throw. George Hill in for Pat Connaughton. Yeah, George Hill, 15 minutes as well here. I mean, they're just, especially with Bledsoe out, I think they just got to play these players more minutes. Maybe they have something in their sports science that says that these guys can't play more minutes than this, but here's Lopez 3 over Adebayo, and this is going to be a 3-shot foul in favor of Lopez. And Chris Middleton got away with a very dirty screen in the back of Adebayo. That's how Lopez ended up getting open. And then Adebayo tried to recover, and he gets hit with a 3-shot foul. If they show the replay, I mean, Chris Middleton just, Adebayo's stationary, he just runs up the back of him and chucks him. But nonetheless, Lopez with some free throws. I guess that makes up for Jimmy Butler shoving Marvin Williams and then getting his own free throws on the other end. One surprise is how good Miami has been inside in this game. Only 14 three-point attempts. You would have thought that they would be up around on pace for 40 or so for the game, over 20 in the first half with how many threes they shoot and how many threes the Bucks give up, but instead Miami has done much better getting to the rim. Lopez gets all 3 free throws. Butler leaves it for none. DiVincenzo is there. And, I mean, like, where is this famous Bucks rim protection? Right? I guess it's all Brook Lopez trying to guard Olynyk. I think he's been too attuned to Olynyk. He's got to help out and then trust guys to rotate beyond him. Now Lopez with a big dunk as Chris Middleton, again, getting around the Lopez screen and then setting up Brook Lopez. And that's a lot of that's on Kelly Olynyk, who just lets Middleton go around him. When you put 2 on the ball and then you let the guy go around you, you're not going to be able to defend on that possession. Now Middleton with the steal. Does the attack? He goes at Olynyk, tries to finish with the left. What a finish by Chris Middleton against the 7-footer. Usually you'd want to back it out and play for one shot, but Chris Middleton, if you make that layup, he's been the best player on the floor in the first half. Now it's Hill guarding Butler. He wants the Olynyk screen. Olynyk slips it. His 3 over Lopez. Oh, big shot from Kelly Olynyk. That late clock slip, as if you're guarding the screener, as this won't count for Middleton, if you're guarding the screener as a big, you got to be ready for that slip in a late clock situation because there isn't really time to run a full pick and roll. All right, well, since I'm here by myself, we're going to take a little halftime break and come back in about 10 minutes here to talk about the second half and take some questions. Hey Google, set timer for 10 minutes. All right, we are back here. Catch you up on some of the stats at halftime. Giannis has 9 points, but 2 of his 3 field goals are jump shots, and he's only 2 of 6 from the line. He does have 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 3 personals. Middleton, frankly, has kept the Bucks in it, along with Brook Lopez. Both those guys are 3 of 4 from 3. Middleton is 9 of 14 from the field with 3 assists. Lopez has 19 points, 6 of 7 from the field as well. So those guys really keep him in. And then 9 of 17 on threes for the Bucks. Miami is 7 of 15 on 3-pointers, and they've gotten to the foul line quite a bit, 13 of 15. The Bucks generally avoid fouling pretty well. They weren't as good at this year as they were in previous years, but still pretty solid in that area. And the other thing to watch for here is Miami shooting on 2-pointers. They were 41% in the first quarter. Now they're at 46%. So they really got going inside in that quarter. And take you through some of the shot charts. We'll see if there's anything interesting in there. Bucks only 6 of 10 at the rim. Usually they dominate at the rim. They're 6 of 9 from mid-range, and Miami 8 of 15 at the rim. So it's really actually been Miami that's getting better shots overall, and the Bucks shooting luck. Usually in a Bucks game, if it's close, it's the opposite. So that's definitely a concern for Milwaukee. They're gonna have to play better, other than just hitting some shots from Middleton and Lopez to win this game. And before, of course, we get to your questions, we'll tell you about our friends at bookies.com. The live halftime line, brought to you by the aforementioned bookies.com. The Bucks are a 5-point favorite, so with it a 3-point game, that would mean they would outscore Miami by 2 in the second half. The over-under is now 234. Heat are plus 170 on the live money line, while the Bucks are minus 215. So you can check out bookies.com for the best NBA odds, deals, expert picks throughout the playoffs. Follow them on Twitter at bookies. Oh, if you could change one thing about the NBA, what would it be and why? Danny and I should probably reprise our podcast at some point that we did for our defunct Stitcher Premium podcast, where we looked at all the things that we would change. If I had to pick one thing, though, I think it would just be general more punishment of call-seeking behavior. I mean, on more of a micro level. Like, that would make me enjoy watching the game more, I think. What do I think about Chris Dunn's defense? He has amazing advanced on-off stats. Yeah, it's not like they have a bunch of other great defensive guards, number one. And he definitely is a shark. He gets a lot of steals. But I think he's so limited offensively that you really can't play him as much more than a backup. And he's also the kind of player where if you have him on a playoff team, he could really get taken advantage of in a series. So good regular season player, totally fine backup point guard with his defense, but I wouldn't want to pay him beyond that or count on him beyond that. Are you surprised with the minutes Frank Mason was getting? Well, I think he only got 2. But nonetheless, yes, I certainly was. Switch over here. Will Giannis cover Butler to allow him to play safety when Jimmy is off the ball? I think the problem there is that Giannis can't really get through a screen. And so they can just run pick and roll with Butler and actually probably get some pretty good stuff there. All right, start of the second half. We'll see whether Middleton can keep it up. Dragic has been awesome for the Heat. We probably haven't talked about him enough either. And then the Giannis foul trouble. Is he going to be on the floor? I think the Bucks need to get better on both ends, but even defensively, they haven't been quite what they need to be Because this is not like crazy 3-point shooting from the Heat. Like, they're going to shoot close to 40% in some of these games. And the Bucks have to get better because they're not going to shoot 9 to 17 on threes in the second half. George Hill, who has not done well on Dragic. They've really missed Bledsoe on him. They've forced Butler to his left again. They don't want to let him use those screens. Crowder, they're now going to try and post up Adebayo on Lopez. Nice drive on the baseline, and Lopez, with the shove, he had the forearm on Adebayo, pushed him behind the backboard so he couldn't get to that reverse layup. That a third foul on Brook Lopez. So the two best players, in theory, at least defensively for the Bucks, now on 3 fouls. They're going to try and screen away for Butler here off the Robinson screen. Now he steps out. Good job by Middleton getting there just in time to bother that shot from Robinson. And the Heat can't believe it's not their ball, but it's not. Wes Matthews trying to get the ball in bounds before they overturn the call. Because that's one where maybe they could have challenged. I think Wes knew that was the bad call. Double high screens here for Middleton. Adebayo. Oh, what a pass from Middleton. And that's going to now lead to a charge somehow. And that's 4 on Lopez. It was Duncan Robinson who got over there on the pass and crash. Hate that call so much where a guy... Now they're going to talk about this a little bit. They're going to say... Was he in the restricted area? They're going to say the play originated in the lower defensive box. No, they're going to say it's an offensive foul. I think the ruling is it doesn't matter because the play, he's just catching the ball right there in the lower defensive box. Because, yeah, he is inside the restricted area, but because the play originates low. See, I don't like that call, though. Like, the play doesn't really originate in the lower defensive box. Like, Brook Lopez is starting his drive. It just so happens he catches the ball. If he's dribbling in there, then the restricted area does matter. Adebayo trying to go at Lopez to draw the fourth. That leaves Crowder wide open, and Jay Crowder has shot it well from three-point range himself, and Brook Lopez says to Giannis, you don't need to help me on that. Get out there. Tie game as Milwaukee draws first here in the third quarter. Crowder switching on to Middleton. They want to get Giannis at the elbow against Butler. We haven't seen Butler guarding Giannis much. Now they get Matthews in the corner as Duncan Robinson has been caught a couple of times helping off the corner. He is very aware of helping on Giannis. The gravity of Giannis's role opens that up, and another great pass from Chris Middleton. Here's Crowder. You see how Giannis struggles to get through screens, but Crowder can't take advantage. Now Giannis takes the three-pointer over Adebayo. Man, that's money. Bondi just shoot his free throws from the three-point line at this point. So Milwaukee, as soon as Miami had tied it, Milwaukee with 2 threes to draw back in front. Good denial by Hill on Dragic, but they have no choice to call the foul, and Crowder did well to act his way into that foul. And probably a good call. When is that Bucks three-point shooting going to calm down? Hasn't happened yet. Here's Dragic on the back door. Hill just got beaten again. He's just getting torched. And Wes Matthews, though, he's got to help a little bit more than that. Like, Hill was not there. Like, you just have to protect the rim on that back screen first. It's Jimmy Butler, yeah, but you can't give up a layup. Here's Hill in pick and roll. Gets Giannis. Giannis into the lane. Nice finger roll over Crowder. Again, Giannis, it seems like he's close to drawing an offensive foul every time. Like, he can get that forearm away from his body. Now Adebayo going at Marvin Williams. Misses the layup. Adebayo lucky not to get called for the foul. And they're going to give this to Miami? Wow. I thought Adebayo, yeah, he hits Middleton in the back of the head. That should be a foul. A beautiful Gervin-esque finger roll from Giannis on that play. And no, they are going to give him the foul. That's rightly called. Giannis screening for Middleton. Now it's Hill. No advantage gained off of that screening. Not good enough screen set by Giannis. But with 3 fouls, he doesn't want to pick up a fourth. Backdoor, Hill. Good job by Schruter. He sloughed off of Giannis to get a hand in the passing lane and knock that away. Good pressure from Matthews on Butler. Adebayo. Is he going to try Marvin Williams and the old man strength again? Oh, nice alley-oop it. And Adebayo couldn't get the dunk. I guess it was a shot, but he puts it away on the rebound. Now they hand off to Giannis. It's Butler on him. Butler guarded him a lot in previous matchups of these teams. That has not been the matchup so far, but they have Schruter to do that now. Giannis on the spot up 3, way short, and Adebayo will push it. He's got Dragic here. They haven't had a solution for him yet. They have had a solution for Duncan Robinson so far, though. Dragic will go to his left. Snakes the pick and roll, and we're going to get a defensive 3 seconds on Marvin Williams. Yeah, he was hanging out there for a lifetime. And I think what Bud is trying to say is that because Marvin Williams was guarding the screener, that the defensive 3 seconds shouldn't apply, but I'm unaware of any such rule. Yeah, I'll ask you guys in the comments for the next break. Do you agree with me that Miami is playing better than Milwaukee right now? Here's Butler against Matthews. Gets to that right hand, right down the lane. Has to give it up. 3-pointer, Schruter. Jay Schruter in and out. And nice job by Middleton tracking back on the rebound. Hill filling the lane on his right. Tries to put Adebayo in the mix. Steps back on him. Chris Middleton cannot miss right now with the jump shot. Now Butler on the drive. And they're going to get Wes Matthews. Wes kind of just tried to draw the foul on Dragic, who ran into him and lost concentration for a second and ends up having to foul Butler. A very Butlerian stat line for Jimmy with 14 points, now 6 of 7 from the line and 4 of 9 from the field. You'll notice, of course, he hasn't even pretended to take a jump shot yet. The demise of his jumper is really somewhat of an odd thing. And part of that is because they almost use him as the 4-man in their offense at times. But he used to be a quality mid-range jump shooter at least. Here's Middleton. They'll just switch this now. Giannis attacking Schruter. Loses it, and they're going to get a kick ball on Schruter. Yeah, Crowder's foot was moving. That's a good call. And we'll get our first timeout of the second half. Give me a second here. I got to get my second TV synced up. So let's hit a few questions. Albert Namad mentioned on Twitter Dallas's decision. I saw that tweet not to take on Goran Dragic and instead giving Dalen Wright guaranteed money. How would that have changed their outlook both now and in the future? I don't actually think it necessarily would have been a good thing for Dallas, because what made them so good this year was playing Luka Doncic at point guard. They really didn't have anyone else who does much off the dribble, so they just had to run everything through him, and that worked out great. They had the best offense in NBA history, basically. And yeah, they could use some other threats, but Dragic is pretty old at this point. I think he would have just been competing a little bit with Luka for on-ball reps, and that maybe it wouldn't have worked out as well as they would have hoped. And Dragic can also be a defensive liability. Playing him with Doncic, you just don't have a lot of athleticism on your team. He doesn't really want to be as much of a spot-up shooter either. So, like, it's one of those things where it would have been kind of more of a luxury to have him. And, yeah, you'd rather have him than that Dalen Wright contract going forward since Wright isn't playing for them. But nonetheless, I think it made sense to try to get someone younger. But Wright, in retrospect, was a poor fitter on Doncic. I think they just didn't understand how incredible Doncic was going to look coming back. You know, to think that he was going to ascend to be a top 5 player at this point, I don't think that was on anyone's radar. The pandemic has inspired some impressive hockey hair from you. Uh, who's to say I don't just think I look better this way? Um, let's see here. The Heat might also be playing better. A lot of unforced turnovers from the Bucks. Yeah, they'll do that though, and the Heat do force a lot of turnovers. So, um, has what you've seen so far changed your impression on the series outcome? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Although we've seen the Bucks struggle in games 1 before. Let's see how the rest of this one plays out. The fact that they haven't really had an answer for Dragic. Also, when I made my series prediction, I didn't know that Eric Bledsoe wasn't going to play in this game. He's clearly a very important member of their defense. I have been impressed with how the Bucks have dealt with Duncan Robinson and Hero, though. But yeah, we also, Giannis hasn't really been able to get going in the half court in the slightest right now. Like, they've been giving Middleton the reps, but they've been using Giannis more as the screener, and that's helped some other guys get going. But he really hasn't been able to create shots. Now they're trying to run a play for him. Instead, it's Middleton popping out a little kind of disguised flex action. Middleton for 3, finally misses one. Not a great look that time. Miami looking to come within 1 or tie it. Dragic down the lane, way back out to Butler. He'll take the spot up 3 and hit the spot up 3. Jimmy Butler. And that's actually a play that they've gotten a lot of mileage out of in timeouts. We'll look for that maybe in some other ATOs too, with Butler and Bam setting 2 screens for Dragic going to his left hand. Here's Matthews, stopped underneath. It gets to Williams and he blows the hook shot. Nice play by Duncan Robinson in help defense. Here's Dragic again. Switched on to by Matthews. Now they want to get Butler in the post in the mismatch against Hill. Let's see where the help comes from here. Here's Butler. Nice play by Giannis taking away. Butler never really drew the advantage before looking to pass it. Now Giannis back to goal. Into the lane. He's got Matthews. Left corner 3. Can't get that. Wes Matthews has played well though today. Tied at 73. He with another chance to take the lead. Williams pressuring Adebayo, and he'll be called for the foul. Yeah, you see that incredible reach of Giannis on that steal. Good to see some family members there watching the game. I think that's a family member. But hey, you're not watching this to hear about family members, so I'll concentrate on the game. Giannis getting his customary early rest. Robinson's 3. Contested well by Williams, but it bounces right back to Iguodala. Robinson tries again. He hasn't been able to get going. Schruter keeps it alive, but he throws it off the back of the backboard. That's still in bounds, though. Hill looking to push it. Gets the screen from DiVincenzo. Man, Hill just cannot get these passes to these guys on the roll. Now Hill is going to be fouled by Robinson. Not a good foul, as Hill is not some unbelievable contested three-point shooter. When he's open, absolutely, he'll drain it, but off the dribble, I think you're okay with just a solid contest. We've had our share of 3-shot fouls in this game, but George Hill can't take advantage. Yeah, it is interesting that we've seen no Robin Lopez at all in this series. Maybe the thought is that he's too immobile when you've got these really mobile centers. I think I agree with that. I mean, Marvin Williams is a good player, but there also can be a little bit light at the rim when he's in the game. I also would be curious to see what would happen if they started doing a little bit of switching with Marvin Williams as well. I think the problem there is that Bam can really mash smaller guys on those by dribbling into those post-ups. Here's Butler coming off the screen. Oh, they totally miscommunicate, and Butler dunks on their heads. Terrible job by DiVincenzo. He and Middleton did not communicate at all. Here's Hill way out. Oh, baby. George Hill started to find the range from the foul line, and he guns it. That's what I get for calling him not a great contested three-point shooter. Here's Butler trying to draw the foul. Does, and one. Jimmy Butler, if he just gets that little bit of a shoulder by you, he's going to go right back into your body and draw the foul. So they've really made a couple mistakes on him now, and he punishes those. Butler, originally the 30th pick in 2011 of the Chicago Bulls, played basically not at all in that first season for Chicago. It was a loaded team, considered a championship contender, but then he emerged to become a 3-and-D guy and then a superstar in his fourth season. Now here's Middleton with the size advantage on Hero. Hero tries to pressure him. Good help from Robinson, Connaughton, and what are we going to get here? Looks like a foul on Duncan Robinson on the pass-off. I think Robinson's actually had a decent defensive game. We haven't seen the Bucks go after him much, and he's been solid as a help defender. He has given up a couple of threes, maybe overhelping a little bit, but now he's going to sit down and none will come in. And while Robinson hasn't hit shots, I think some of his gravity has still helped them. Middleton off the Hill screen. They'll just switch this with Hero. Butler in the strong side zone to help. Middleton is just going to shoot it over him. Missed that. Here's the rebound by Marvin Williams. He blew the layup again. He's had a couple of layups that just he unaccountably missed. Now you see a lot of this where Miami will go to more Butler pick and roll in the middle part of the third quarter. Here's Nunn in the lane. He just hasn't been able to get those little shots to drop. Hill looking to attack Hero. Now they'll swing it. Connaughton. Hand off Middleton. He's got none on him. He's going to try again here in the ISO. Butler again is in the strong side zone. Middleton. As Connaughton brought his man over, Middleton will take it over Nunn, and that's great defense from the Heat. Got to have a little bit more disguise there. And now Hero runs the floor, but he's rejected by Connaughton, and they're going to get an offensive foul. Hero put his left arm out into the face of Connaughton. Good call. So Giannis is back now, still tied at 78 in this crucial game one. Giannis now guarded by Adebayo. Korver slips the screen, eluding Hero. A little short. Korver has not had the touch. Korver, you can see there, he's not comfortable shooting it unless he's going to his right. Good denial by Korver on Hero. Now it's Adebayo at the elbow. Nunn looking to work into the mid-range. Goes for the floater, and he missed Adebayo. Adebayo was wide open for the alley-oop. But the Bucks can't get the rebound. Nunn will try again from the corner. He's way short. That time Connaughton with the board. Giannis at range finding Korver. Korver with the three. Man, Kyle Korver just hasn't had the touch. Now Butler, maybe he sees the advantage matchup against Connaughton, tries to go through Korver, and then he's run into by Connaughton. No shot, but they are in the bonus, and Butler with a chance to give Miami the lead after this timeout. And this is our last chance here to tell you about our sponsor, Bookies.com. Go to Bookies.com/NBA. That's what I'm going to do right now so I can tell you about all of their special deals for legal betting in your state. At PointsBet, if you deposit $250, you can get $250 in free bets with the promo code BookiesNJ. You can just click right through. They also have a review of PointsBet. Also great deals with DraftKings Sportsbook and Bet America. And they also have the NBA picks of Mark Stroutman. Stroutman had the Heat +5 over the Bucks in this game, and that's looking pretty decent so far. Stroutman and Adam Thompson are both well over the break-even point. So you'd be making some money, I guess, if you followed their picks over the last couple of months here. And you can also just go to their live updating odds page as well. You don't have to keep refreshing it. It just updates on its own. And you can go to Bookies, at Bookies on Twitter, I should say, and get more live odds there. What does Milwaukee need to do to win? I think it starts with actually playing better defense. And part of that is having their best lineups on the floor. You know, when it's Giannis and Brook Lopez, I think that's when they're at their best. Lopez has been in foul trouble. He hasn't done anything in this second half. So that's a big part of it for me, because I don't know that they have that many other options offensively. Middleton is certainly a great one, like that Middleton Giannis pick and roll. You know, that's probably, with Middleton going like this, that's probably their best action. Giannis has a ton of gravity rolling down the lane, and Middleton has the ability to find shooters on the weak side. So that probably would be my focus. But Milwaukee has never been a great half-court offensive team. By fouling a lot as well, they are killing their transition game. So I think it actually, the lower hanging fruit for them is improving defensively. A couple of comments about Giannis's minutes. You know, what they would say is he plays so hard and they need so much effort for him defensively and pushing the ball in transition that he just can't play at the same level that they need by playing 40 minutes. And I mean, if that's really true, then that really changes what you think about Giannis Antetokounmpo as a player. My personal opinion would be he's a good enough player. Also, part of the reason he doesn't play is because he's in foul trouble so often. But my personal opinion would be I'll take 95% of what he is over 32 minutes for 40 minutes, if that's indeed what it is. Yeah, and a lot of people say, you know, crapping on Bud for Giannis being in foul trouble and like he should have played more minutes anyway. Giannis, it's one thing if you're weighed down. Like Seth and I talked about that yesterday on the pod. But he's a guy who is going to get fouls. And he can get a lot of fouls on offense too. Like if he's got 5 fouls, it really reduces his effectiveness offensively because he's got to really be able to play with abandon. And he's going to pick up some charges. So there's Butler with the free throw. It's been more of a defensive struggle for both teams here in the third. So they got Giannis and Lopez together again. They try to get Korver off the Giannis screen. He'll take a long 2, and Kyle Korver hits it. 38 years old, I believe he is, and steps in a little bit to tie it at 80. Now it is Giannis guarding Butler, and all that face cut from Tyler Hero gets him to the line. Connaughton was getting ready to deal with Hero coming off of that wide pin down handoff out of the corner, and Hero cuts right in front of him. That's a play we're seeing a lot more these days in the NBA. Devin Booker is probably the best in the NBA at it, getting set up by Ricky Rubio, because Pat Connaughton's getting ready to just run behind him, but you can't run behind him if he just runs in front of your face for a layup. Continuing to see some defensive mistakes here from Milwaukee as Hero hits a couple of free throws. Now Giannis going to attack Iguodala. Iguodala with the strip. We talked about that in the comments. Here's Adebayo. He's got Dragic spacing out. Good job by Connaughton running him down. That was great transition defense from the Bucks. Now they force Dragic to his right. Adebayo back. He'll take the mid-ranger over Giannis and hit it. 4-point Miami lead. Giannis going to try Iguodala again. Korver setting the screen. Giannis missed him. He was open. Now Korver going to his right. He'll take another one. Hit another one. Kyle Korver starting to heat up a little bit against the young shooter, Tyler Hero, on defense. Dragic gets it back from Adebayo. Wants to get to that left hand out of the pick and roll. He's got Connaughton on his back. Into the lane. Tough fader. Man, that is so good. That's part of why it hasn't really been that way, but that's part of why I thought Dragic could cook a little in this series. Now Giannis back to goal. Goes through Iguodala. Iguodala with the foul. Again, it's Giannis is just right on the borderline every time with that off arm. He uses it as a club to knock Iguodala backwards. And maybe the only thing that I would point to as a flaw in Andre Iguodala's defensive resume is that he's not a good enough flopper. I think he's almost like too honest and just doesn't want to get knocked down. There was a play in their 2016 series as Giannis misses yet another free throw. 2016 series Warriors against the Rockets, Game 3, without Steph Curry, James Harden pushes off on Iguodala, and Iguodala didn't fall down. He just kind of flopped and put his arms up a little bit, but he didn't really flop. He just sort of let himself get knocked backwards, and he was just looked at the ref, was like, hey, you gonna let him do this to me? Instead of really selling the call, and Harden hit the game winner in that game. And then they had to bring Steph Curry back the next game, and he got hurt in a injury that really changed the course of NBA history. Now here's Nunn going backdoor. Man, DiVincenzo, again, he messes up the communication with one of those split cuts. That's twice he's given up a layup. Connaughton trying to drive on Dragic. Works into the lane. Tough shot. Oh, what a rebound for DiVincenzo. But how many layups have they missed? Right point blank, he and Williams have missed 3 layups in this off the offensive glass. Now Adebayo at range against Lopez. Here's Dragic again. Man, Goran Dragic, they have had no answers for him whatsoever, and Miami now leads it by 6. This is against some of the Bucks' best guys, too. Lopez posting up deep, lost it, gets it back. Mid-ranger, yes. What a game Goran Dragic is having here. 5-second differential as Lopez got them the 2-for-1. Hero, they're going to try and involve him in the screening action. And now Korver with a second foul, and they lose the 2-for-1. Oh, no, they don't, because Miami's going to shoot free throws. But Korver, that was one of those plays where Hero tried to draw the foul on Korver first for chucking him. The referees didn't call it. And then Korver chucked Dragic, and they're like, all right, you're going to do this 2 times in a row. I was not going to call it the first time, but I'm going to call it the second time. You'll see that a lot with the referees. Catch you up on some of the stats here. Goran Dragic, this might be his best playoff game since that crazy game in 2010. He hasn't been in the playoffs a ton, but 27 points, 9 of 12 from the field, 2 of 3 from downtown, and he is 7 of 7 from the foul line. I'm going to spoil it for you. He's going to make this free throw. At least according to the ESPN box score. So here's Hill with 10 seconds to work. Tries to get by. Dragic falls down, steps back, tries to draw the foul. Here's Connaughton. Air ball. Difficult third quarter for the Bucks. They got outscored by 9. Chris Middleton cooled off just a little bit. He had only 2 points in the period. They blew a few more layups around the rim. And Miami also killing on the offensive glass. Adebayo has 5 offensive rebounds. Butler has also been unstoppable in this one now. He was great in the quarter. He's got 25 points on only 12 shots, but he's got 11 free throw attempts. And the Bucks are in some difficulty here. They got to do better defensively, particularly considering that Miami really hasn't been doing it from the 3-point line. Only 9 out of 24. Should the Bucks run more deep post-ups for Giannis instead of relying on him driving into traffic so much? Well, this is a really good defensive team. I don't know that he has like the type of body where like his strength is like getting low and carving out space right at the rim on these post-ups necessarily. It's a good way for him to pick up some fouls too. They don't really have great passers other than Middleton. So I'm not sure. I think they could try it every once in a while, depending on who's guarding it. Like against Adebayo, I don't think that really makes a lot of sense. But I think he still has to get better from a skill level standpoint, I think, to really be a huge half-court engine in the playoffs. Assuming no title, what would you do as the Bucks GM in the offseason? I might consider maybe trade like Indiana's first and a couple of seconds for Malcolm Brogdon. Could they do that? Yeah, it remains to be seen, really. Bledsoe would certainly be a trade candidate. You'd think, could they get something trading him or George Hill and that Indiana first and another first to really go for it? But they don't have a ton of flexibility, particularly if this ownership is not going to play the luxury tax. Giannis has to play the rest of the game, right? He's only at 24 minutes of playing time so far. I don't think they're going to do that. They want to play him in shorter stints. Now, he might just get like a minute rest here, but I would not predict that they're going to play him 16 straight minutes. Middleton has to be the one traded. I don't think so. He really has more value to the Bucks than any other team. He's not on a great contract, and he's their best passer. He's their best shooter. I don't know who you're getting that's going to make you better than Chris Middleton. Yes, as the second best player, he's not the guy you would look at as, oh man, this is a clear second best guy on most teams. But the question is who you're going to get to replace it. I don't know who that is. All right, we are back here. She asking you about the Frank Mason minutes. That's the question. So Giannis remains in. Milwaukee trailing by 6 after that great first quarter. They have scored little since. Middleton, Giannis, Hill, Lopez, and Korver. They're trying to set up Giannis at the nail against Iguodala. Giannis goes to the fadeaway. Got to make that shot. That's one of those shots, to me, that's even more important than his three-pointer is, do you have something you can go to when they won't let you get all the way to the rim? Here's Schruter against Giannis. They want to set up the back screen to Hero, and they get it again. Lopez, what a recovery. But Dragic sets up Schruter off the restart. Another offensive rebound for the Heat, but Adebayo loses it. Now Giannis in transition. They load well to him. Nowhere to go. Now Giannis will try it against Adebayo. Takes the three. Can't get that. Two missed jumpers from Giannis. Dragic, again, gets to his right hand this time. Pulls the three. Misses it. Middleton telling Giannis to go down low. He wants to run the pick and roll with Lopez. Middleton. Yeah, he walked. When you do a jump stop like that, your feet have to land at the same time. That's something that in the last 5 years or so, the league has really cut down on. I've never really understood that personally, of like why they have to land at the same time. What difference does it make? It's the same number of steps, but that's the rule. Adebayo getting Hero off the screen. He's wide open. Misses that. Yeah, the Heat have gotten some good stuff with Adebayo at the elbow and Shooters on the weak side. Now, Giannis almost ran over Iguodala, but he lost it before they could get the offensive foul. Schruter stripped by Korver off the knee of Jay Schruter. Those two were actually traded together from Utah to Memphis in the Mike Conley deal. Korver gets past Hero again. Bucket again, and Hero's got to do a better job on him. When they set that play up, there's only one place he's going. Kyle Korver is not going to cut back door and beat you. You got to be ready for that he's going to come off that to his right every time. Dragic will come off to his left every time. Korver gets out on Schruter, or that's Iguodala. Iguodala with the no-look pass, but Schruter lost it out of bounds. Iguodala not particularly interested in shooting that one, and Korver did well to disrupt. Let's see if they go back to the well with Korver here. Korver doesn't know what they're running. He's got his hands up in confusion. Now he's going to set the screen for Giannis. Hero steps out on it. Giannis looking to attack. Goes at Schruter. Fouled. And, you know, a lot of people, you look at Giannis's line and it's pretty ugly. But if he just made his free throws, he would have almost 20 points right now. It really bums me out when guys can't hit free throws. And I mean, again, that's the fourth one he's had that's like been just woefully short. He's 3 of 9 from the line right now. Does get that second one to pull him within 2. Here's George Hill trying to bother Dragic. Dragic with the push-off, and they do give him the call. That's really good defense from George Hill. Just don't make it easy. It's been too easy for Goran Dragic in this game. And so you start bothering guys enough, they kind of get annoyed, they kind of get frustrated, they want to run the play, you're not letting them do it, and they'll shove off. So they're going to run something for Korver here again. He's under the rim. Giannis attacking on Schruter again. Oh, nice move. And oh no, they get the travel. Let me see if I agree with this. Let's watch his right foot here, the pivot foot. No, that's a good move. That is not a travel at all. They can't challenge that. But he had his right pivot foot there the whole time. I thought that was good. Maybe they called something else I didn't see. Now Dragic again, downhill. Guns it to the corner. Iguodala. Nice close from Korver. And he stepped out of bounds. So we're seeing Andre Iguodala has been a little bit of a offensive liability these last couple of possessions, with Korver helping off of him and then doing a great job. Kyle Korver has done well, and Iguodala clearly steps on the baseline there. Kyle Korver, despite his lack of athleticism, has always been a good team defender. Giannis screens for Middleton. Now the Iverson cut. They want to run that Middleton-Giannis pick and roll. Oh, nice little feed, but it was just a little low for Giannis. But Giannis dunks it on the head of Schruter anyway. That is just a ridiculous pass, and Giannis just goes through the arm of Schruter. Schruter's trying to say it was on the floor. Look how long Giannis's arms are to actually recover that. Schruter's trying to say, no, you should have called the first 2 fouls on me, not that last one. He's like, I fouled him there, not there when he dunked it. And I think they are going to wave it off, actually. I saw the referee, yeah, they do wave it off. They called the first one on him. Here's Korver again. Quick release on Hero is short. Bucks have had their chances to tie, haven't been able to get it done. Now Olynyk. Let's see if he can stretch out Brook Lopez. Hero with Korver bothering from behind. Not enough. I love when these two shooters go at each other. The Bucks are not going to switch that. They're not going to have the big step out. With Adebayo out, Giannis might be able to eat in this lineup. Butler with the strip. He just came back in. Then Middleton knocks it off the leg of Butler. And are they going to say that this is still Heat ball? Bucks reacted like it was. Marvin Williams is in for the Bucks. He'll get Brook Lopez. I think the thought here is that with Olynyk out there, they want a little more mobility at the 5. Butler going to run pick and roll. All right, they switched this. This is interesting. This is the first time we've seen the Bucks do much of this. Butler goes at Williams, and Williams gets the stop. Giannis finding Williams. He'll blow by Olynyk and lay it in. And one. Kelly Olynyk bridged him low. And Marvin Williams, a chance to bring the Bucks within 2 points once again. This is a lineup that now Korver is out there, as that's a clear foul on Olynyk. Almost a dirty play, frankly. Kelly Olynyk, no stranger to those kinds of plays. But I think you got to go after Korver now if they're switching everything. Although Spo is going to get the timeout. Probably imagine Adebayo is going to get back in this game. He's only played 30 minutes. He's only got 3 fouls. Butler is back now as well. And interested to see, Hero has played a bunch of minutes in a row. I don't think he's been particularly great, but Spo has liked him rather than Duncan Robinson, who they have shut down, by the way. And Schruter has done an okay job on Giannis. I don't think we'll see Iguodala that much more. I don't think he's played particularly well. And Schruter gives a little bit more shooting than he does. And then for the Bucks, Korver has played a bunch of minutes in a row. He may need to sit for a little bit. And are they going to stick with this switching group? I think they could go back to Wes Matthews instead of Korver. Although Korver has kind of given them a locus of their offense when they haven't been able to get much else going in the half court. So I'm very interested to see what the personnel is and if the Bucks are going to stick with this switching strategy against the Heat with Marvin Williams and Giannis up front. When do I predict the 2021 NBA Finals will be played? My guess would be August of 2021. I think they're going to start the season in like mid-January, early February. Maybe it'll be a little bit of a truncated season. I think they want to be done by the time the football season starts. And then who knows what happens with the Olympics too, and whether the Olympics can even happen in the form that we expect. But I'm a little bit rusty on my coronavirus stuff now, so I need to catch up on that a little bit more. It's really more of a really health stuff than an NBA question. Giannis had the post fade going before the stoppage. Yeah, he would have some games where he could hit it, but other games where he didn't. I don't know how consistent it was. I mean, he had a few games where it looked really good for him, but other games where he couldn't get to it really. Could the Bucks target Drew Holiday as their next piece? Yeah, I don't. That one is really difficult for me to know what's going to happen with him. Like, what would the deal be? Is I don't think New Orleans wants to trade Drew Holiday for an Indiana first round pick and maybe a future Milwaukee first round pick and Eric Bledsoe. Giannis is going to be a Maverick in about a year and a half. I think they are an underrated potential destination for him. But I do think this whole idea, Giannis doesn't necessarily fit the archetype of the player who necessarily wants to leave. And I mean, particularly what they just went through with this boycott stuff as well. It does seem like he's very, very dedicated to this team and his teammates. Yeah, no Danny. He is on vacation for a couple days, a pre-planned vacation before we knew the NBA playoffs would be in August. All right, so here we go. Let's see who's out here. Bam is back. They're sticking with Hero as well. Connaughton with the close on Hero into the lane. Nice quick pull up, but it's short. Giannis looking to push it. He's got Williams on the right side. He doesn't see him. Throw it to him. Oh, that was awful. He was at a wide open corner three. Now they're bouncing around on the left side of the floor, and Wes Matthews tries to get Butler in the air. Late clock for Hill. Hill attack Hero. He's going to have to go to a fadeaway here. Way short, but he gets his own rebound. Fresh shot clock. Marvin Williams open again. They didn't see him. George Hill has missed a lot of passes tonight. Hill gets Hero in the air, and oof, man, I don't know about that call. Let me watch it again. Yeah, Hero actually, he jumped once, landed, and then tried to jump back again, and that's when Hill got him. Good call. So Hill a chance to tie it at 95. And we didn't really get a great look at what the Bucks were doing defensively in terms of potentially switching. But I think with Korver out now and Matthews back in, they got the perfect lineup to do that with. And this is what the Marvin Williams acquisition excited me about the most. When their quote-unquote base defense wasn't working, did they have something else to go to? Duncan Robinson is back in for the Heat. And we'll see if the Heat can induce some miscommunications as Milwaukee keeps missing free throws. So it's Hero and Duncan Robinson and a lot of shooting out there now. Adebayo against Williams. Trying to get Butler in the post. Tried to draw the foul. Did not. Now he'll go to the spin and Matthews just takes it away from him. Former college teammates, Jimmy Butler didn't exactly have this type of game back in college, so I can't say that Wes Matthews really knows him that well, but that's a great strip. 5 on the clock here. Adebayo pressured by Williams. He's going to have to create it. Gets into the lane. Giannis intimidated him nicely. Now Giannis can push it. Butler trying to run him down. Nice closeout by the Heat. Matthews, given the baseline, doesn't take it with help there from Schruter. Now it's Giannis against Butler. Tries the Euro. What a layup. I mean, Giannis, part of why he gets these turnovers and these offensive fouls is because he kind of predetermines what he's going to do on these Euro steps, but you almost have to guess it like you're a soccer goalie facing a penalty shot. Then Butler going through Connaughton, that was really a draw the foul kind of flip. And I'm not sure that Pat Connaughton can guard Jimmy Butler in this switching system. Dragic will come back in. Antetokounmpo, they go under on him, and rightfully so. What a brick. Marvin Williams has played Adebayo well. Hill comes on to him. Hero in the mid-range. They'll switch it. Now they throw it to Bam, and they missed the initial opportunity to get it there. They got a double team, though. Hero on the cut, and it's a hold from behind on the Bucks. I think it was Marvin Williams who got him. No, yeah, it was Marvin Williams who grabbed him by the back of the pants. Yeah, this is turning into a grinded out defensive battle. Butler will inbound with 14 on the clock. Adebayo, they try to get Butler cutting. He shoves off Matthews. Now it's Dragic who just returned into the mid-range against Matthews, forced towards the baseline. Adebayo, late clock again. Nice jab step to get open. That's a great move late in the clock. And the Bucks will get a timeout. And the question now for Budenholzer is going to become whether he goes back to Brook Lopez or not. I do think that Lopez, they haven't utilized him enough in the post. He's hot shooting the ball. Offensively, he's definitely part of their best group. I don't know that the switching works as well without Eric Bledsoe. And maybe if they go back to Middleton, who I don't think was even out there in that last stint. I think Bud is also trying to just get some time here for Giannis to rest. And it's a tough decision, though, for him. I mean, Brook Lopez has been good today. Only 2 points in the second half. They haven't really gone to him, but he's got 4 fouls. That's not a big problem. And then for Spo, clearly Dragic, Adebayo, Butler are going to be out there. Probably Schruter, and then neither Hero nor Robinson has done much. Most of these guys off their bench have kind of struggled a little bit. You could just go for defense and bring in Iguodala and really just try to defend. Certainly in an offense-defense situation, you would want to do that. But they also don't really have much for Iguodala to do offensively. And Schruter has been hitting the spot-up shots in this game. He's 3 of 7 from 3. See here, catch up on some of the comments. Could you run a big lineup with Giannis, Lopez, and Marvin? They have done that before to some degree. And I just don't think that has enough mobility to get through screens with all the handoff stuff that the Heat do necessarily. Maybe against another team, like if they're playing the Lakers or something, I think you might consider that. But I don't know that it's great here. So excited for Dunked on Prime. Thank you. Yes, I hope if you haven't subscribed yet that you'll do so. You get a founder member discount up until September 8th when we actually go subscription 4 days a week. I mean, I can't promise you it's going to be like so different than what it's been before, but we'll certainly give you more frequent content. I mean, the nice thing is that if let's say I record something during the day, I don't have to wait until that night to post it, for example. We can do shorter pods, but more of them whenever they're ready. So that's something that's really nice. Or we, do a quick gamer. We don't have to worry about like, okay, you have to do only 5 episodes a week, and they have to have like enough general applicability that it's going to get a lot of listens. Like we can do some more niche stuff. So hopefully it'll end up being cool. And then we've got the salary sheets as well, which would be really cool. Those have been improved. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you're familiar with those, but they're better now. And we've got the daily links as well that Ben Dull, our director of basketball research, is helping us put together. All right, so we're back here. Oh, we're going to have a Discord too for Dunked on Prime subscribers, at least those who are doing total access. We also have just the podcast here, which will be cheaper. All right, so who is it? Lopez is back. Middleton is back. And they still got Connaughton out there. Now, if you had asked me whether they had want Marvin Williams or Pat Connaughton, I think I could tell you the answer to that. Here's Middleton off the screen. Butler is there. Engages Adebayo. Tough fader. Yes, Chris Middleton. They're within 1. I thought Adebayo could have done a little bit better of a job of getting out and make him drive. Middleton is guarding Butler. They're going to screen away here for Dragic. Try to get the handoff going to his left hand. He gets it. Floats it. Misses. Rebound. Dragic. Now he's engaged underneath. Knocked away. Middleton. He gets it back. Bucks can take the lead. Middleton harried by Dragic, and now they get it back to Hill. Pick and roll coming here, I would imagine, from Giannis. He tells George Hill to get away. Yeah, go stand in the dunker spot, George Hill. That's where you should be. Here's a three from Middleton. That's off. They've had a couple of early threes here to take the lead that haven't gone down. Butler with the open side. Robinson wants to screen for him to involve Connaughton. Instead, it's the drive from Butler. Nice floater as Brook Lopez did not get out early. They kept that whole side open, and that's where the defensive 3-second rule matters. As soon as Lopez steps outside of the lane to cleanse, they're going to get a timeout here, are the Bucks. As soon as Lopez steps outside the lane to cleanse, that's when Butler starts his drive. And I had skepticism that Jimmy Butler could do much in this series, and he's been outstanding. He maybe has been the best player in this game right now. Pat Connaughton being out there is indefensible. Yeah, that's a little weird. Well, especially, why would he be out there instead of Wes Matthews? Wes Matthews is playing better. Wes Matthews has done a good job on Butler, and he's a better shooter. So why on earth would you... And he's a better defender than Connaughton also. So yeah, I really don't get it. He's played 24 minutes. Ben, I hope you're writing down all of these for the pod. Because it's going to be tough to keep up with all these terrible lineup decisions. All right, we're back here. Bud with his use it or lose it timeout. Spo has 3 timeouts too, so he's going to take a timeout probably right after this. Here's Giannis off the handoff. Gets a screen. Dragic steps out nicely. They try to get Connaughton coming off a screen. That's not there. Middleton, his jumper over Butler is off. He's had a couple of chances here. Hasn't been able to get it done with tough jump shots. And the Heat can push it to a 2-possession advantage. Dragic sets the screen for Butler. Middleton, great job cutting him off there. They're going to run it again. Yep. Butler going to his left. Tries to draw the foul. And what are they going to get on this? Are they going to say that Middleton ran over Dragic and Dragic was fouled? I think that was in fact the case. And hey, guess what? Eric Spoelstra is going to get a timeout. Told you. Can Ben be the guest on the pod tonight? Yes, actually, that is exactly what it's going to be. Ben, did you message that guy? Yeah, we pre-planned that like a week ago with Danny being gone. And yesterday's guest was Seth, and if you're a Dunked on Prime subscriber, we also had a little bonus conversation for about 15 minutes talking about what really makes the best players in the NBA and what your championship odds are and how does Joel Embiid fit into that. Do you think players are let off the hook too much for their defensive decline when they assume more offensive responsibility? I don't know. Not having, particularly over an 82-game period, it's just so hard to maintain your level of performance. And I know there's a lot of people who say, oh, Michael Jordan was able to do it back in the day, but Michael Jordan, it is so much harder to play and play good defense in today's NBA. the amount of ground that you have to cover now versus back in Jordan's time, the faster pace. All right, here we go. 13 on the clock. Butler. They want to screen away for Dragic. Now he's going to screen for Butler. Butler's 3 over Hill. Oh, baby. Jimmy Butler. He did it against the Pacers in game 1 with late 3-pointers, and he's done it again here to give a 2-possession lead to the Heat. Here's Giannis across the lane, and he's going to get fouled. Schruter can't believe it. Either he or Butler did get him. Yeah, I think they're going to say Butler hit him across the forearm. And more clutch free throws for Giannis. He's only 4 out of 10. They need these 2 desperately, which is not a recipe for success when you're a poor free throw shooter. Brick. And it's not only that he misses, but like these misses are just not the kind of misses that you have as a good foul shooter, as a good jump shooter. Everyone going after this offensive rebound. He misses it way short again, gets his own rebound. Hill has 2 guys fly by. Middleton's 3 over Schruter is off. Middleton's missed 3 straight. I would love to know still what Wes Matthews did to not be in this game and have them have Connaughton in there. Like, Connaughton's on a minimum contract for a reason. Here's Butler getting the switch against Hill. He's going to try and use his size to overpower him. Back to goal. Tough fadeaway. Jimmy Butler again. And whatever it is that got into Jimmy Butler's water this year that made him lose his jump shot, he finds it again in the 4th quarter of these playoffs. Lopez is wide open. They left him wide open. No, not good from Adebayo to give up a wide open 3. It was Giannis's gravity that sucked him in, and the easy 3 from Lopez. They're going right back to Butler again. Same play. Middleton trying to deny him. Now they get it back to Dragic. Good job by Middleton. Now, but then he stopped denying him, and they give it to Butler. Butler blows by him down the lane. Sets up Hero. Now it's Dragic. His 3. Long. Tipped away by Adebayo. The offensive glass for the Heat has been massive. And now Hero's wide open for 3 to ice it. Yes! 8-point Miami lead. And Milwaukee is in some difficulty now. Offensive rebounding for Miami. This is one of the best defensive rebounding teams in NBA history. And the Miami Heat have over 30% offensive rebounds today. That would have led the NBA during the regular season. So the Heat have played harder. They've played smarter than the Bucks. And really, when you consider the shooting differential, the Heat probably should have won this game by more. Yeah, well, Bucks in 5 not looking too great right now. I think I picked that last year though in the Celtics series, so maybe they'll come around and win the next 4. They're capable of it, but certainly they're definitely capable of playing better defense. Like this was not a good enough defensive performance from the Bucks. Would I foul Giannis with this lead? No, I wouldn't, because you don't want to introduce a bunch of variance. You don't want to allow them to get more possessions. He might even get into a rhythm with a bunch of shots too. Here's Middleton switched onto. They take away the 3, and then Middleton, he's saying it was deflected. They're going to review this, you would think. That was great defense by the Heat, though. The play was for Middleton. They double-teamed him. What you really can't do up 8 is give up a 3 in that situation. So let's see here if this actually gets deflected. Dragic stepped out well, and we can't really get a great look here at whether someone got a hand on it. I don't think anyone did. Bud's drawing up a play like it's going to be their ball. I didn't see anything there. What do you guys think? I didn't see anything to indicate that someone hit it. Maybe there's another angle. Let's see this one. Yeah, there it is. Oh, no, but Middleton still has his hand on it. That's going to be another one of these bang plays. And particularly considering that the initial call was heat ball, I think this is going to remain heat ball. Clearly, Middleton has his hand on it after Butler has no longer made contact. Great defense by Jimmy Butler. He's been awesome today. He's been the best player in this game. Yeah, I disagree with this comment that Giannis is not a basketball player. I mean, he's awesome at every single aspect of the game except shooting. He's a 7-footer. Like, there's no 7-footers are not able to dribble the way he can. They're not coordinated the way he can. They don't play as hard as he can. He's got great defensive instincts to protect the rim. He's a great rebounder. Just because a guy can't shoot, his Euro step game, his skill level, footwork, all of that is awesome. Like, if you want to say that he was just standing under the basket and dunking it, like, I know Harden has made that criticism, but that's just not true. Just because a guy can't shoot, like, I don't think there's anything else at basketball, unless you want to count getting over a screen, that he's not good at. Yeah, I would say there's one big hole in Giannis's game. I would be hard pressed to find out. He's a good passer too. So Heat do retain possession. They get it into Dragic, and they'll surely bleed as much clock as they can. I still really question here, where is Wes Matthews? Why wouldn't you have Wes Matthews guarding Dragic as Butler hits another jump shot? Wes Matthews did a good job. Chris Middleton doesn't do a good job in Jimmy Butler. And he's getting lit up again. Here's Giannis, sets up Middleton for a 3, and he drains it. False hope still for the Bucks, down 7, but it's Miami ball. They're trying to pressure up against Schruter. Ooh, he slipped down, and they get the timeout immediately. I think Spo actually called that from the bench. Good call with only 2 seconds to get it across. They cannot advance it now because they dribbled it, but they're going to need to throw it into the front court. They might also even look at the time here and give them a little more time on the shot clock. Yeah, I really just have no idea what Wes Matthews did to not be closing games. And moreover, what Pat Connaughton did that was so good in this game. You could have Wes Matthews out there guarding either Dragic or Butler. You could switch this Dragic-Butler action if you needed to. So, yeah, very disappointing, I would say. Jimmy's been sandbagging his jumper all year just to whip it out tonight. He really is an odd player, isn't he? Where there's just something, he just like doesn't want to take jumpers. He wants to be the guy who has the ball. Maybe he's just feeling better now. But yeah, he only takes jumpers like at the end of games, it seems like. But he's been hitting. And credit the Heat, they've crafted this offense with other shooters where he doesn't need to be outside the three-point line that much, but they're showing the Butler jumper montage here. Now they get it in. Yeah, they get it across, and yeah, that actually will do it. Middleton saying review it. Man, 36 points for Jimmy Butler. I mean, I really think of this as more of a defensive loss for Milwaukee. And the inability to get a defensive rebound as well and get their transition game. I mean, What did Giannis have? Maybe 1 or 2 buckets in transition all game? Boy, I really do hate this end of the game, though, when, like, it's over, but they're still trying on, like, the 1% chance that they're going to win. Yeah, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's probably going to be off Butler. But the difference is the initial call was heat ball. That one does look like it hit Butler last. And on that one, a bang-bang play. I've complained before about how when you knock it out of bounds in the last 2 minutes of the game, if it just happens to touch the guy's hand last, that it shouldn't be the offense losing the ball. But in that situation where the ball is really loose, I think I have no problem with that call going back to Milwaukee. Yeah, people point to 1 rebound by Lopez, and I don't know how much of that I would put on him. I mean, that's what his job is to box out. Like, generally, I mean, you can't call Brook Lopez a bad rebounder. He boxes out, and then Giannis usually goes and gets the rebound. Now, they've played a lot of times with Marvin Williams out there, and I think Marvin Williams and Giannis, that group hasn't done as good of a job, and Lopez could have been better also. And usually, Robin Lopez is another great box out guy as a rebounder. Yeah, they really do need to put the Ethan Strauss, like, 30-second clock on these reviews. Like, I mean, what are they learning from continuing to look at this? So yeah, we're hoping to. Someone asked about the Discord. We are hoping to get that done in the next couple of weeks or so. Obviously, actually, like, watching the games and following them and doing the content is more important. But I'm hoping to have that running by the time we actually go live, full subscription, next week on September 8th. We're still doing this? Like, if there wasn't an angle that made it 100% clear, then you don't need to watch 97 replays. But they finally get the call right. Here's Giannis going at Adebayo, almost loses it. And maybe that guy was right. He can't dribble. Now they're going to commit a foul. Oh, man. I guess that you have to do this. It's a playoff game, but this is unsightly. Miami still not in the bonus. Andre Iguodala says, "Hey, I suck at free throw shooting. How about you let me inbound it instead?" Now Butler, nice hesitation into the lane, short floater, not enough help. 9-point game. Bucks have got to jack up a 3 here. It's Middleton. Butler knew exactly what was going. He's going to roll in. Middleton tries to wrap him up, and I think we can call it a day. Thank you so much for joining us. Danny will be back tomorrow. We're going to do Game 7 of Utah and Denver. And no, I will not be doing 6 straight hours of casting by myself. Sorry for Rockets OKC. But if there's a Game 7 of that series, we'll definitely do it. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow.